hit. Right now, our unemployment is at 9%. ABC 15 Steve Kuj is joining us live. Steve, there's a booming job field that could put thousands back to work.
Oh, that's right. There is a huge opportunity right now if you're willing to hit the wide open road. Yes, I'm talking about becoming a truck driver. We're live here at the Flying J truck stop off Interstate 10 and 67th Avenue. The United States trucking industry is trying to fill about 200,000 jobs by the end of just this year, and then another 200,000 jobs by next year. That's the latest news from a report by the Council on Supply Chain Management Professionals. So, why the sudden job surge? Well, the council says retirement, tougher safety regulations, and the recession layoffs have pushed many truckers out of the industry. If we're talking money here, it's not too bad. The average trucker makes about $50,000 a year, but despite that decent salary and the increased job demand, truck companies are worried they won't be able to find enough drivers to actually fill the demand. Here's what one trucker we talked to had to say about the life on the road.
The first day you leave, the hardest part is about the first 200 miles down the road. You know, leaving home. Once you get past that, you just kind of sink into your groove, and next thing you know, it's a week later and you're pulling back into the house.
Well, obviously being a truck driver isn't your typical 9 to 5 job. I'm here with Mike Hayes. He's with Momentum Specialized Staffing. Now, Mike, tell me about this job. Can anybody do this?
No, you need a special license for it, and you also need quite a bit of training because of the size of the vehicle and the danger involved.
And talk about that danger. I mean, on the road, there's a lot of accidents. Is it safe to be a driver?
It is safe to be a driver. Most of the accidents that are involved with a tractor trailer of this size, about 85%, are caused by the passenger vehicle. But you do have to be very awake, very alert, and be very careful when you're out doing this type of driving. And there is probably about a year's worth of upfront training that you're going to be doing in order to get ready to be a proficient driver.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Mike. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll tell you about some of the positives and reasons you might want to be a truck driver, like the salary. It's a lot more than you might think. Live in Phoenix, I'm Steve Kuj, ABC 15 News.
New this morning at the job market right now at 617. Arizona is having a tough time recovering from the recession with an unemployment rate at 9%. ABC 15 Steve Kuj is joining us live. And Steve, thousands of people could be put back to work, all because of one industry.
Well, that's right. There's a lot of opportunity right now. If you're willing to hit the road, that is. We're talking about becoming a truck driver. We're live out here at the Flying J truck stop off of Interstate 10 and 67th Avenue. The U.S. trucking industry, they're looking to fill about 200,000 jobs by the end of this year and another 200,000 again by next year. That's the latest news from a report. The average trucker, now salary, they make a lot of money, $50,000 a year, but some drivers more than 6 figures. We're talking upwards of $120K and more. Despite that salary, job demand can be tough to fill, according to some trucking companies. Here's what one guy we talked to had to say about being a trucker.
The first day you leave, the hardest part is about the first 200 miles down the road. You know, leaving home. Once you get past that, you just kind of sink into your groove, and next thing you know, it's a week later and you're pulling back into the house.
Now, obviously, being a trucker isn't for everybody. I'm here with Mike Hayes. He's with Momentum Specialized Staffing. He is one of the people looking to put a few of these truckers to work. Thanks for being with us, Mike. Now, we talked with one guy earlier. He said time out on the road, he spends about 3 months at a time. Could you talk about that?
Well, yes, because right now the big demand is in the over-the-road or 48-state driver. So they can be out up to 3 months, and like he told us, if he's not moving, he's not making any money.
All right, but with those time constraints, being on the road so long, how's that on the family?
Well, it's really bad if you don't have somebody that understands that. So anybody that's looking to get into this business, you know, before you look into schools and what it's going to cost to get that type of license, make sure you can handle being away from your family for months on end. And that's not for everybody.
And not to scare everybody off here, but what are some of the positives we could bring up about being a trucker?
Well, generally, these over-the-road truck drivers generally have a lot of work available. So it's not like there's a lack of work. Also, there's a lot of people that like to travel, like to see the country. Those type of people would be perfect for this type of job.
Got it. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. If you're interested, tons of jobs, so this is something you can look into. Thanks a lot for being with us, Mike. We're live in Phoenix. I'm Steve Kuge, ABC 15 News.